Alright, good morning. As I fiddle, I really need to learn how to use a mic. Okay, let's begin. Which mode do I use again? I think it's this one. Okay. Good morning. I am a native New Yorker, and I currently just bought up my house. I'm a first-time homeowner, and I am in upstate New York. So I was in California, then the pandemic, and it kind of felt a bit cramped in Los Angeles. So we decided to buy a house somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And so it hasn't been a year yet. So I'm a newbie homeowner. I've only it'll be a year in October, I think. So almost a year, but not quite. So I have my own office for the first time ever in my entire human existence. I have an office, and it's in my house on the second floor, which is kind of crazy. So at 5 minutes past the hour, I actually, because I'm a person who does lists, so I actually made a little list here for my streaming time, so I could figure out what in the heck I'm gonna do to make sure I do 3 sprints, because somebody, I won't mention any names, shouted me out yesterday. So in case people come, I want to make it seem like I know what the heck I'm doing here. So we just started. So at 8:05, we're going to do a 25-minute sprint, and then we're going to have a 15-minute break at the half-hour mark. And I've got my Scrivener open. Now I'm doing this layout again, because usually I would just show what I'm writing. I don't really care. Because it's like the zero draft, but whatever. But I, just in case, for whatever reason, doing that would disqualify me from the contest. This will be my first time writing something on stream where you're not actually seeing what I'm writing. You're just seeing me and some random things that I just kind of threw up on the screen because I wasn't sure how to do the layout yet. I'm getting there. I was born and raised in the Boogie Down Bronx. So I am from the hood, as they say. Let's just set up our timer to be 25 minutes so that we have that ready to go. I actually am not finished my breakfast, so I'm going to finish these last few bites and turn my camera off while I do so. Just so you don't have to see me chewing. I was actually when I decided to stream exclusively on YouTube, I was gonna use what all of you guys use, which is StreamYard. And as simple as I will admit StreamYard is, I found it to be a bit too simple, especially since I'm someone who uses OBS. So the reason why I'm able to just make my thing appear and disappear is because I'm using OBS. I'm not using StreamYard. I tried, believe me, I tried, But it's just, I don't know. There's just something about it that I felt was a bit too simplistic, and I like being able to like transition screens and, you know, not that I'm an expert on using OBS or how to use it, but just saying. Okay, so in 15 seconds here, or 10 seconds or whatever, we're gonna get started. Wouldn't it be hilarious if I knew or met your boyfriend at one point? But we're probably not near the same age, so that probably is not possible. But wouldn't it just be hilarious? Okay, there it goes. I would guess, but you know the old adage about, you know, but I would guess that you're like 5 years younger than I am. Okay, let's see. I haven't looked at this since Monday. Oh, I just turned 37. So, hmm. Oh, see, I knew it. I said there's no way that she and I are the same age. I knew it. Ah, the youth. Ah, the youth. Wait, did I just turn 37? I'm not good with math. I was born. Yep. 37. My birthday was a couple weeks ago, June 27th. So a little like 2.5 weeks ago. Night of I have to like reread what I did because I literally have not looked at this since Monday because I've been busy doing other things and taking notes and et cetera, and actually doing a bit of research on my novel. So, because I was doing research on my novel yesterday, I just didn't look at this, and I really want to stick to just working on this when I'm streaming and not working on this when I'm off stream, because I don't want to rush myself. I find that I write too quickly, and then I it's not a good thing to need to write that fast. So I did good. I have not touched this since I got off stream on Monday, and therefore I don't know where I am. I know I wrote too much on Monday, and so I need to scale it back because the contest has a cap of like 5,200 words, and I haven't finished Act 1, and I've already written 2,000. So yeah, each act I'm guessing is going to be about 3,000 words, which means I'm going to need to edit and cut about 4,000 words from this story, which hurts me tremendously, but that's just the nature of the fact that I tend to bloviate when I write. So what are you gonna do? And it's been a minute since I've written a short story. I used to write short stories exclusively. Well, I used to write poetry, then I wrote screenplays, or scripts, television scripts in high school. Then I wrote novels again, and then short stories for like 3 years, and now I'm back to writing novels. But then this happens, and now I'm back to writing short story again. Okay, I see where I am now. There's a lot that I left out though, that I skipped. Man, I haven't written poetry since college. So 15 years. It's been 15 years since I graduated college. So that it's been a decade and a half since I've written even one poem. That's a long time. But I used to write, I have them all. I haven't gotten rid of any of them. So all of the poetry that I wrote in high school and in college, I've got it all, but I haven't written since then. My mom was a huge poetry writer, and so eventually, because I inherited all of her poetry, so um, when I unpack my stuff and I gather up the books of her poetry that she hand wrote in these journals, what I want to do is put them in a collection, and then have them printed through like lulu.com, so I can have like, it's going to be like 3 or 4 volumes of her poetry. But I feel like that's something I really want to do. It's going to be a huge project and undertaking because it's all handwritten in notebooks, but I'm really excited for that. Oh God, I gotta blow my nose. Hold on. Also, I want to say to apologize for the fact that I'm whispering, but my wife is still asleep, and although it's cool that my office is on the second floor, it also happens to be like 2 feet away from our bedroom. So, and I am currently without an office door. So, if I had an office door that I could close, I'd be talking in my normal speaking voice, but I am kind of whispering into the microphone so as not to disturb her, though she should be getting up soon. um, and yes, I am working and typing as I am chatting, so I know some people will put the timer on and then it'll be like radio silence. I think that comes from me from 5 years of being a Twitch streamer and knowing that conversation is kind of like the key to streaming on Twitch. I don't like where this is going. I don't like this. Feels like useless conversation I'm having right now. Yeah, I have many feelings, deep feelings about Twitch, and a lot of the community, the writing community, or the what we call ourselves as the Twitch streaming, the Twitch writers community. Um, I left Twitch intentionally because I felt that they were not really advocating for me. Twitch is a gaming platform, and it took me a while because I was hoodwinked like everybody else into thinking that Twitch was going to broaden their scope beyond gamers and include creatives, because they created a creative arm, and it was, in my estimation, or in my opinion, it was a scam, and it was a scheme to get us all of us non-gamers, to fall in line, which we did. But here we are several years later, and gaming is still the choice that they have made to promote and to advocate and to stand behind, and they have every right to do so. But I refuse to conform to that. So I made the choice for myself to say I'm not gonna let them take the money that they have been taking from me, from people who have given money through their platform, because I don't earn it enough for them to give it to me. So what they do is they pocket it, which is a whole other conversation to get into, which is pretty shady and underhanded. But nonetheless, YouTube is definitely a better platform because it gives me more control over how I'm found, and I don't feel like YouTube is out to get me. YouTube is a platform for you, right? It's YouTube, and it's just very evident that Twitch is a gaming platform first and foremost, and everything else is just kind of like whatever, man. So, you know, it is what it is. But I would not, unless you have a huge following, um, like Kate Kavanaugh, who was on YouTube, and so when she streams on Twitch, she gets like hundreds of viewers. I wouldn't recommend going from YouTube to Twitch, because it is a pretty daunting place, and it can seem very intimidating. I mean, when I got into it, it was way before creative was even a thing. It was way before there were as many Twitch writers on there as there are today. So I was like one of 5 in the entire platform that was like streaming their writing at the time. So it's become a big deal now, but 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it definitely was not. But yeah, unless you're going there for a specific reason, to bring a specific audience with you, to do a specific thing, it's not even worth it. It's just a headache. Like, I was using Restream in order so that I could stream simultaneously on YouTube and Twitch, until I finally cut the cord and said, okay, I'm not going to show this stream that I do on Twitch. I'm only going to show it on YouTube, which makes my life a lot easier doing it this way. But yeah, I wouldn't even consider it unless there was a real need or desire. If you felt like there was an audience over there that you weren't getting from YouTube, which I doubt. Unless you're looking for other stream writers, there are many. There's a whole Twitch writing community, but but I also feel the Twitch writing community is different from the YouTube writing community, which I was thinking about writing a post about, but I feel like I might anger a lot of people if I wrote this blog post. But again, my opinion is that Twitch writers only go but so far in their career. Like, they don't take it as seriously as YouTube streamers who are writers. Whereas I find a lot of the people on YouTube who are writers who I follow and watch, they are going the extra, right? They're either getting traditionally published, they're querying, they're self-publishing, they have books published. Whereas I find that the Twitch writing community, as big as it is, it's filled with all of the ones who, for whatever reason, have not taken that next step, whether it's fear, whether it's, any number of reasons. But there is definitely a noticeable difference between who's streaming on Twitch and what they have published and what they have finished and what they have accomplished versus the writers on YouTube, what they have published, what they have finished, what they have accomplished, and where their attitude is in terms of making writing a career. And so that I like because, I have published novels before, I have published short stories before. So I also felt like there was that separation between myself and the Twitch writing community because I have done things and experienced things and failed in things that they haven't because they haven't done that yet. And I don't get the impression that they want to. Like they're safe in the Twitch box of just writing and chatting and not really looking to do anything with the writing that they're doing. It's like a hobby or for fun. No worries. And if you ever want to learn OBS, like hit me up because like I said, I've been using OBS for almost 6 years now. So I am by no means an expert, but I definitely know my way around it. So I am more than happy to assist in any way that I can if you want to try to see if it's something you want to use, as opposed to using StreamYard like you have. I will say though, it is for someone who wants to transition screens and do different changes and stuff like that. So if you're cool with just, having the, just show my face or, just show, multiple people, like StreamYard I think is better for like if you're doing a collaboration stream because it is a bit more work put in. If I want to do like a collab stream, in order for me to do it, it would take a lot more steps and much more of a process to do it. Whereas with StreamYard, it's like a couple button clicks and you have a nice little setup going there, right? So I will admit that. But if you want to do something where you're like, transitioning screens, like I have, where I can just easily just click, I can do this, and then I have my starting screen. I used to have a bunch of other ones where if I wanted to show my iPad, I could, click a thing and then it would just show what's on my iPad if I want you to see what I'm doing on there. And I had one for showing my desk because I bujo, or at least I used to bujo. So I would show myself, doing my bullet journaling before I would start my day of streaming and writing. So if that's something you want to do where you have a lot of different windows and different screens and views that you want to show, I'm sure you could do that with StreamYard just as easily, but you know, OBS is a bit more. The user interface is just a lot going on there. It could be very intimidating. There's a lot of buttons on here that I've never touched, and I couldn't even tell you what they do because I'm like, I don't want to push that button. It might self-destruct. Oh, where does her cousin live? I feel like he's got to be in a. I got to go to my maps. My world here is futuristic, and it's a futuristic Ireland and Scotland, I think. And so I've got like maps that I refer to. And I didn't consider that I was gonna, in conversation, she was gonna mention where he lives, because he doesn't live where she lives. And where did I write down the good countries and the bad countries? That's the question. I wrote them down somewhere. Technology, transportation, climate. Here we go. Areas friendly to shadowcasters. We got Scotland, England, Greenland, and Australia. Okay. Sweet. I just need to know where he lives. So she basically, my main character, has to journey from Ireland to, she's attempting to get to Scotland, but that doesn't end up happening. Let's see, safe in your little Greenland. just finish this one sentence I'm in the middle of. Okay. Okay, so let's put on a... Oh, sorry, I'm flipping too fast here. A quick 15-minute timer. Let me see if my wife is up, because I haven't heard her in a minute, and I don't know if she went downstairs and walked the dogs or what, because I assume she did. No, I don't think she has yet. So give me a second. Okay, she was up all this time, and I was just like whispering my little life away, thinking she was still asleep. Okay, I can talk in my normal speaking voice now. Are you not able to show your writing on StreamYard? Let me see if I can remember what it was like when I used it, because I feel like you can show a window, like just a specific, because I know when I did StreamYard, like the first time I did it, I looked very washed out, and I think it's because I put on my overhead light. That's slightly better, but I probably should use my overhead light versus using my natural sunlight, which is probably what's washing out my face. But anyway, I was able to just show Scrivener. So I think as far as I know, you should be able to just show whatever window you're using to write, so that you can show it using StreamYard. Just say, give it access so that it can just show your, I don't know if you use Scrivener or not, but that's what I use. And I actually just, yes, to the wife and doggy. She actually is walking them, I assume. Actually, I don't even know, but I assume she's out back in the backyard, letting them out there to do their morning business. Her office is downstairs, whereas my office is upstairs. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you want to be able to show, both. I know one thing that I used to do, which I don't do anymore because I'm trying not to use two screens. I used to have my laptop open, and I would use my laptop to be where OBS would be. Like, I would put OBS on that second monitor, if you will, and then I would just show my entire display of my main actual 34-inch monitor, so I could have a whole bunch of things open. But because I don't have a second, my laptop, I'm trying really hard to keep it in clamshell mode, and I've been doing really well, so that I can just use the one monitor. because eventually I'm going to get an iMac. I mean, not an iMac. What's it called? A Mac Mini. So I won't have my laptop in clamshell mode. My laptop will actually probably be the thing that lives downstairs in the living room. So I'll have a fully functioning computer downstairs that I could have on my lap when I'm in my living room. But when I'm at my desk, I want it to really feel like a desktop computer. So for Christmas, maybe when the next Mac Mini, the next generation or whatever comes out, or next year, I'm going to get that one. But in any event, because of that, I can't show my full display because it would show OBS on that, which I have open on like the corner, and it would make this weird effect. But I mean, you could also try doing that. I don't know if you have certain sensitive things open when you're doing your streaming, but you can try to just have it show the whole display and then just do a split screen, right? Where one side is your writing and then the other side is the timer. Or you could use what I use, which is this timer. I don't know if you have a Mac or if you use a PC, but this timer is free that I use here. That's timing, clocking down here. It's called AS, capital A, capital S timer that I just downloaded. And it's what I've always used. It kind of works for me, but yeah. And just so you know, these things up here above my head, the fifth compass, Born from Blood, and then these ones that are cycling over here, these are all from the same universe that I created called Stonehaven, where I told you I write novels. So I have this whole universe and a whole story bible for Stonehaven, which comprises of 60 plus story ideas broken down into series and trilogies and standalone novels, etc., etc. And so these are just the main ones that I'm looking to write and publish. Now, the fifth compass, I wrote the first 3 novels and the first 2 novellas, and I published the first 2 novels, but I have taken them down since because I'm doing, I am revamping and redoing my whole author brand, so I took them down. And so I decided that I'm not going to start with the fifth compass anymore. Like I originally wanted that to be the first series to introduce readers to this vast universe that I created. And instead, I'm going to start with Born from Blood, which is right above my head. And Born from Blood is based a lot on Native American cultures and societies and things like that. So I've been doing a lot of research. So that's where you see like the pictures that I put up on my Instagram. So I've got like Spirits of the Earth, where I'm currently looking at different symbolisms and stories and so on. So when I'm done with this short story, and when I decide what I'm going to do about the other one that you told me about, from, I think it's Karen Strong is her name. I haven't decided yet if I'm actually going to do that or not. But once I definitely finish this and submit it in, like, I'm hoping to submit this by mid-August, by the 23rd, I think the latest. I will then go back to doing my research and working on the Born from Blood trilogy, because I hope to release the first book of that June 2022. If I can stick to that timeline of self-publishing and releasing that. But yeah, so the ones that are cycling like over here, those are ones that I just have the idea and I have the outlines for. And once I finish the fifth compass and Born from Blood, I will then decide from the ones that are cycling through which one I want to tackle next. But each one is like really in depth. So like Woodvale Academy, I think is intended to be 5 books and 1 novella. Silverblade is a trilogy. What's the next one that comes up? The Last Dragon is an epic trilogy, meaning that each book is likely going to be about 150,000 words, each book. And then the Skylands is uh 15 book series where my idea is to take three women from different locations at the same but in the same time period, and they're each going to be a point of view having their own 5 books. So 5 times 3 is 15. So, and they're each going to have a different station in life. Like one is going to be like a queen, another one is going to be a barmaiden, and then a third one is going to be a seer in training. That one's going to be hilarious. I'm actually excited about the seer in training, because yeah. But anyway, so I have like all of these. I guess so many ideas. I actually wrote a blog post about what to do when you're just bogged down with ideas, because I get ideas all the time, and it can be very daunting and heavy to keep them, hold them, remember them, and then write them later. Which is why I have this series, this universe of Stonehaven, with like 60 plus ideas of like novels to write for this thing. And it's like I've learned how to stop coming up with ideas for Stonehaven. It was difficult for a long time because I just kept I was writing the Fifth Compass, and from the Fifth Compass, like all of these other characters and trilogy ideas and things just spawned from it, and it just couldn't and wouldn't stop. Oh God, I don't know. You might hear my dog barking. I apologize. He probably hears me talking, so he's barking to get my attention. And today, my to-do list, after I write 1,000 words in this stream today, I'm actually working on, I'm a list person, so I'm working on file organization, because my filing system on my computer, digital, whatever filing system, is really bad. And it frustrates me on the daily when I'm looking for an image or a blog post that I wrote in like Word, like anything. If I'm looking for anything, I can end up spending 3 to 5 minutes just looking for the thing that I'm looking for. And there comes a time in a person's life when they have to realize this system sucks. So I wrote down like all the cloud services that I own, and then what each one's purpose is, and then I'm writing like a step-by-step thing on what I have to do, because I did that for my MailChimp. I had to do something with MailChimp yesterday, which was a nightmare, but it worked because I was able to like write down all the steps, and then I took my red pen edit pen and I just wrote done as I did each thing, and it was great. So I'm doing the same thing, but this time with file organization. So I'm gonna have like probably 30 steps that I'm gonna have to do to properly organize my filing system. But once I'm done, hopefully it will work, and I will be able to just find things without, one of the main issues actually is knowing which cloud service it's in. So that's one of the first things that I'm going to fix, is that I want one main cloud service. I shouldn't be dividing my author brand with my website and my publishing and this, like, they shouldn't be in 5 different clouds. They should all be in one central cloud. And the main problem is that they're split amongst them. So step 1 is going to be figuring out how to consolidate them all into one place, and then working on the file naming, file organizing, folders, all that jazz. And I am writing a blog post about that too. I love writing blog posts. Eventually I want my blog posts to be actual YouTube video content that I like pre-record, edit, and then upload. I'm not there yet. I don't think I'm that personable, like I have that kind of a personality yet. I'm working on it. So in the meanwhile, all the things that I would love to make into a YouTube video, I'm simply just writing it as a blog post and posting it on my website, on my blog, and then so that way I can at least remember the things that I want to actually convert into a video, because I can use it as like a script. And then someday in the future, when I have the confidence to record myself and edit and do all those things and then upload actual like videos with fancy thumbnails and stuff, I'll do that. But I'm not there. Definitely not there yet. Maybe next year. We'll see. Like I have a review for R.L. Stein and N.K. Jemisin. I didn't do my review for LeVar Burton yet because I've been busy doing his contest, so I haven't gotten around to reviewing his masterclass, but I will. Okay, so I'm going to set the timer to the next 25-minute mark, and I'm actually going to go off camera because I have to take some medication, and I don't like to take pills when I'm on screen, so I'm gonna go away for a minute and I will be right back. God, I hate taking pills. Oh, they taste disgusting. Mm. Oh God. Ugh. I think I might actually want to listen to a bit of music while I work. So let's do that, shall we? Question is, what music do I want to listen to? Oh my God! Stop freezing. Jeez, Lou. You know what? I found this YouTube channel. I'm like, I feel like I spend too much time on YouTube, but yeah, and I'm like a big baby about pills because I have to take them one at a time. My mom, you would just like 15 pills. She'd put all 15 in her mouth and like drink it down. I don't know how. I just don't know. I could never do that. I have to do it one at a time. So, and they're like the ones that when they hit your tongue, they start to dissolve and they have like a really gross taste. So I take like six. So I'm like rushing to like swallow one at a time these gross ass pills. Excuse my French. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so I listened to this. What's it called? Coffee Shop Vibes, which is on what do you call this? It's a YouTube channel, which I like because it's got like the sound of rain and like it sounds like you're in a coffee shop listening to the jazzy music. You know, I don't know if it's like free, like if I could let you guys hear it too. I don't think I can, so just on the safe side, I don't make it listenable to the stream. But if at some point I discover that I can, I totally will like uncheck the mute, and then you guys can hear this along with me. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be, because it's just like random music. I don't think it's anything like that I could get off a record, but I honestly have no idea. Oh no, wait. So just to be on the safe side. Oh, you know what? Every time I forget that I need to look at my social media, I've been trying to work with Zapier to get it to auto post when I go live on YouTube. And it did it like the first couple times, and now it's decided to never do it again. And it frustrates me because it's supposed to auto post. Yeah, it totally did not. And why is this looking like a pixelated mess? Oh my god. I'm gonna leave that, but okay. Zapier is really I think I'm not gonna be able to use this service, and I'm just gonna have to use I think it's Stream Elements, I think. And the only sucky thing about Stream Elements is it's not going to pull the title from YouTube, which is what I want. It's going to put the generic title that I use. But because frickin' Zapier. And it actually told me why it's not doing it. It says it's I don't think the word is throttling, but it's doing something because I don't pay for Zapier. It's intentionally not posting every time I go live, because according to them, I'm doing it too frequently, which is like every other day. So no, that's ridiculous. Also, you know, when you subscribed to me, it didn't actually register that you did. I mean, it did because I see that I have one more subscriber than I had the day before, but I didn't actually get a notification, and it wasn't like captured, like YouTube didn't email me to say I have a new subscriber. I wonder why that is. I'm wondering if it's maybe because I was following you already, but I thought that was odd that while you are following or subscribing to me, I didn't actually get notified that I got a new subscriber. But anyway, I just thought that was random. Okay, so hold on while I figure out how to get my social media to tweet. Okay, here we go. Tweet when you go live. Yeah, but I've been getting notifications for other people. Like someone had followed me like 3 days ago, and every time I get one, like I actually get an email saying, you know, so and so followed you. So it must be like a fault in their algorithm on that. I should be writing right now, and I fully admit that I'm not, because I'm setting this thing up, which I hope will be for the last time. Because I hate that I have to remember to go on Twitter and like tweet that I'm live. I want it to just do it automatically and stop messing with me. And so I'm looking to see. Is there a way for me to delete something? No. I'm gonna have to just create a new one. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Your channel. Hopefully now this means that on Friday it will just post. Okay, I'm gonna create. I'm gonna put it here. And then I need to get rid of all of these. What do you call it? I'm not good with hashtags. I need to like get my hashtag game. They are gonna do an automated YouTube thing. Okay, so hopefully I won't have to do it the way that I'm doing it now, and it'll just do it a different way, but that's fine. Okay, so hopefully on Friday, Stream Elements will automatically tweet for me when I'm going live, and I don't have to do it myself, because it's really annoying. I also wish there was a way to delete whenever I create a bit.ly link that I don't need anymore, because according to this I have like 7,000 or some odd bit.ly links, which is totally unnecessary, dating back to like who knows how long ago. But apparently I don't see a way to delete links, so oh well, such is life. Okay, so now that I've done that, let me go back to my writing. Ha ha ha. Also, my music stopped playing. Here we go. Rainy, relaxing jazz music. I never thought I'd be using the word petition so many times. I'm gonna change it to request. Okay, definitely wrote more words that time, I think. I just have 500 more words to write, and I will be on track with just writing 1,000 words today. I was trying to just do 1,000 words each time I went live, and then on Monday I wrote 2,000 words, so I'm really making a point not to do that this time. Let me see if I'm sticking to what I have on my schedule. Yeah, 9:10, which is right about now, a 15-minute break, and then at 9:25 we're going to do our final sprint, and then the last 10 minutes we'll do a brief, chat like we're doing now, basically. Why is my window like all the way up here? I feel like it should be down here. I just noticed. Yeah, it's better. I mean, I could technically move everything down and stop making it feel so cluttered. Like so. So my story idea, which I don't think I've discussed since I started writing, is a futuristic one which takes place in the year 2984, and I picked that year because it's 1,000 years after I was born, so that's the significance of 2984. So it takes place in the future where something happened, a cataclysmic event happened on Earth that caused everyone, with the exception of with the exception of 3% of humanity, losing their shadow. So everyone discovered that they had no shadow, but there was a small subset, exactly 3% in the entire world, who retained their shadow. And then over time it was discovered that those who retained their shadow could not get sick and could not die. So, okay. Those are things that are unique to every person who's born with a shadow. They don't get sick, they don't die. But then there are 3 things that the shadow that they have can do. Now, each shadow can only do one of the 3 things. They've only ever, in the history since this has happened, encountered one person where their shadow could do all 3. But for the most part, a person's shadow, over time, living with their shadow, learning their shadow, they learn how to control it. They discover what it is their shadow can do, and it's their actual shadow who does this. So it's not. So literally, their shadow moves independently of the person it's attached to, and the 3 things are move. So a shadow that is cast, if I cast a shadow on my desk, it can pick up this bottle of water. It can, take my Apple Pencil and activate my iPad. Like, it can move whatever it is cast upon. The second thing is create. So if my shadow is cast on sand, it can manipulate the sand into a sandcastle. It can create from whatever it is cast upon, if that thing can be manipulated in order to create something. And then the third thing is it can kill. So if someone steps on a kill shadow, that shadow can and will kill you, which is the least nice of the 3 shadows, right? And what happens is, over time, all of the governments decided to band together to figure out scientifically how to discover, one, how this happened, why this happened, and how they can put a stop to it and stop people being born with shadows. The issue being that there is no way to discover who is and isn't going to be born with a shadow, because it's not as simple as one might think. You might think two grown adults who have a shadow, they, the woman gets pregnant, that baby should, you would think, be born with a shadow. That doesn't always happen. There are instances where two people who are non-shadows can give birth to someone who has a shadow. Or a person, with a shadow and one without could go either way. Oh, the mailman just rang our doorbell. Hold on 1 second. I saw him pull up. He's never rang our doorbell before, though. Okay, it was that we needed to sign for a package. I have to pay something, so my last 7 minutes of writing will not be writing. It's fine. Oh dear. Hopefully this will just take me a few minutes. Oh. Really? I hate convenience fees whenever you try to pay something. Oh. Because there is nothing convenient about a convenience fee. So why they call it that? 7, 14, 21. I wonder why it doesn't have. Oh, because it's New York. Never mind. Okay, I paid it. Oh, let me tell okay, how much time do I have on this clock? 2.5 minutes. What are these? Okay. Let's close. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So, as I was saying, right, I was talking about these shadow things. And so my story takes place during a time like way after all of these anomalies and things have happened, and there's like what's called an illumination union, which is a union of several countries that have banded together in order to work together to figure out how to solve this problem with these people who have a shadow, which are known as shadow casters. So there's the non-shadow, and then there are the shadow casters. And the shadow casters, depending on where they live, will have to hide or, remain indoors and not be out publicly, because there are certain countries that are friendly. So it means that, they are integrated. And then there are certain countries where they're not. They will kill you on sight if you even try to enter their country and you have a shadow. So it's a rife world out there between those who have a shadow and those who don't have a shadow. And so this is a specific family who have one child, a daughter, who is now like 19, 20 years old. And she was born into a long, long, long line. There's very few lineages of a family that everyone, from the moment that this cataclysmic event happened, moving forward, who have children, have all been born from that moment forward with a shadow. Unfortunately, she has broken that cycle of the Quinn family. So everyone in this family, their last name is Quinn, and she was born without a shadow. And everyone from her parents to her cousins, uncles, aunts, whatever, they all have a shadow. She does not. So while she can walk out of her house and go to a non-shadow school and go to the mall and do all these things in what's called the New Ireland, she still feels very much an outsider in her own family, because everyone in her family kind of shuns her, and they grimace at her. They don't want to be near her. She's strange. Why was she born without a shadow? So she feels very much an outsider, even though from a societal standpoint she's as free as the bird, whereas they are not. They have to hide and so on. So this is the final sprint, which I'm going to try to time it perfectly to actually be 22 minutes, I think, if I'm doing this right. So it's told in first person from her point of view, and the story is going to be that in this time period, I'm kind of using Casablanca as what I'm envisioning for where she's living at, and this time period that she's living at right now in the New Ireland, in the specific area where she is. Ireland, or the New Ireland in this case, is petitioning to join the Illumination Union, and so representatives have been sent to the New Ireland to see how this country is dealing with and treating their shadowcaster problem, right? And theirs is a pretty big one, because there is what's known as the Night of Shadows, which happens every year, and it happens in the New Ireland specifically because that person I had mentioned, who's the only person in their historical legend who has had all three types of shadows in his one shadow where it can do all three things. It's believed that person lived there and unfortunately died there, and the reason being because his shadow was stripped, which is a whole other thing. But in any event, so because of that, this annual event moves around in the New Ireland in different places so that they're not found and rounded up by their own government. And so these Illumination Union is here, they are present, and the idea is that the government of the New Ireland is hoping that they will have intel into where the Night of Shadows is happening so that they can show and prove to the IU that they want to join that they've got this under control. They are like more than ready, willing, and able to join the union and help in this battle to undo what's been done from a global scale. And so this girl, she can't go and so from her standpoint, I'm thinking of it like Cinderella, right? She can't go to the ball because in this case, she doesn't have a shadow, so they wouldn't let her in. So she has to stay behind and watch her whole family, who all have shadows, getting dressed up and getting all fancy to go to the Night of Shadows. Her cousin, who's the only person who's really in her family, who's friendly to her, who is a friend of hers, who, she looks forward to seeing once a year, has an idea. He's going to sneak her into the Night of Shadows. They're going to kidnap a person who has a shadow, and they're going to steal it. They're going to perform a shadow stealing, and then immediately after perform what's called a shadow stitch, where they stitch, and I'm thinking of Peter Pan here in this instance, right? He loses his shadow, and then Wendy literally sews it back on him. So it's a whole process that you have to do immediately after you've stolen a shadow from someone else. You stitch it onto yourself, and therefore their shadow is now yours, and so now you have a shadow. And so he tells her he knows how to do it, and so that's what happens. She ends up stealing someone's shadow, but she ends up stealing the wrong one. It's not exactly the shadow you want to be stealing. So things happen, and she ends up having to flee and run away to because there will be people after her because of the shadow, because of the specific shadow that she steals, and a whole bunch of other reasons. So she has to make it, again, like in Casablanca, where they need the transit papers in order to like flee to a place that's less oppressive. She has to go to, or she thinks that she is fleeing to Scotland, which is friendly to Shadowcasters, and she's hoping that her family, her parents, will follow behind her because she has to leave them behind in order to run away. And so that's like the entire story. It doesn't end on a very happy ending because it's not like all these things can be resolved. It's a short story, so I had to do it in a way where there are just a lot of unresolved things. But the premise or the point of it is that she realizes that once she has what she thought she needed in order to feel like she could be a part of her own family, she realizes she's actually trapped herself even more than she was when she had no shadow. So she goes from having no shadow and literally having a freedom of having friends and, you know, going out and spending time, like I said, at the mall and doing all of these things and just being free, to then having a shadow and now having to be isolated and alone and not having, though, not just being able to just go out, and what that, you know, that sacrifice that she doesn't realize her parents made when they decided to stay in the New Ireland when she was born. She realizes that sacrifice that they made, and now she's having to make a similar one in that she doesn't have those freedoms now because she's got a shadow. But what good is it if she can't see her family, she can't just go to the mall, see her friends, all of those things. So that's the story that I'm going to be submitting to the LeVar Burton Reads writing contest. And like I said, I already know that it's probably going to end up being like 9,000 words when I finish writing it in its entirety, and then I'm going to have to figure out how to rein it in to meet their, you know, word count cap. So I'm going to have to probably delete a good 4,000 words of that, but I'm hoping that I can, because I really like it. I think it's great. I know there's a lot of backstory in there. There's a lot of history in there that I had to do for myself just so that I could get into the mindset and the feeling of the story. I have maps so that I know which way she needs to travel, how they travel, by, you know, plane, train, airship, whatever. Let's see, the illumination usually not provide this money to the New Island and everything. Most notable landmarks. Okay, I have officially finished writing Act 1. And it's 2,745 words. I was kind of hoping each act would be, well, Act 1 and Act 2 would be like 1,500 words each, and then Act 2 being the biggest chunk of it, the middle being 2,000. Like, that was my silly thought. And I'm actually going to put a little note for myself that that's what I'm looking to get to. You clearly dozed off. It happens. I'm just, I mean, you're up early. I'm sure this isn't the time that you would normally wake up. So you know, applaud you for waking up to catch my stream. I wish I could stream a little later on in the day, but because I was living in Los Angeles when I got the job that I currently have now, I actually work LA hours. Well, really, I work Central hours now because I'm working on clients that are in Los Angeles and Chicago based. So my schedule for like working my 9 to 5 is actually 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. So anything I can basically do whatever before 11 a.m. and I'm up. So I figured that means the only time I have to write really is when I'm up, and I usually get up around 7. So I stream, and I've decided that I'm only going to do 2 hours. I used to stream 3 hours on Twitch 6 days a week. But now, because I'm on YouTube, I know it doesn't play by the same rules to stream that often and to stream for 3 hours each day, every day. So I've cut that back considerably. So now I'm only streaming 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 hours each stream. So yeah, but so that's what I am working on right now. So out of the 1,500 words that I want Act 1 to be, I basically need to cut like 1,250 words from Act 1. But at least I finished Act 1. I'll need to go back to my outline and see what is it in my outline in Act 1 that I may not have put in that's important. But for the most part, I'm going to now be working on Act 2 as of like Friday, which means that I'm probably not going to finish this on Friday like I originally thought, but that's okay. Actually, I originally thought I was going to finish this next week, Wednesday, because my goal was to write 1,000 words each stream, right? So that would have meant next week, Wednesday, would have been 5,000 words, boom, nearing completion. So I'd rather do that than cut 2 streams of writing because I wrote too much and I ended up where I am right now. So we won't do that. You're such a nice. So when you say underwriter, you mean that you don't write enough when you're writing? Is that what you mean by underwriter? That you wish you wrote more on the times and days and moments that you're writing? Because I tend to basically overdo it. Okay, this I need to take with me downstairs when I go downstairs later. Yeah, I unfortunately, because I have to be I have to appear online for work at least till 8 p.m. Because of that, there's no way for me to. I used to do evening streams back when I was doing Twitch in the beginning, like 5 years ago. I would stream 6 hours, 7 days a week, and I would stream when I got home from work. So I would work 9 to 5, literally, in the city. And then I would get home where I lived in the Bronx and I would eat my dinner. And then from about, I would say 7 till maybe 1 or 2 a.m. I was on Twitch streaming, and I would do that every day. On the weekends, I could end up doing 10-hour streams, and I would be writing. I remember I did one Twitch stream where I streamed for I think 12 hours and I wrote 20,000 words during that stream. I mean, that was the good old days where I had that kind of stamina, but I don't have that now for sure. My average, I would say, if I was to do a sprint for, if I was to do a regular like 25-minute sprint and actually just write for the entire 25 minutes, I could easily write between 500 and 750 words, maybe even 1,000. Yeah, that's my issue too. So that's why I'm a bit nervous about going beyond. I was hoping that I would write less than what the contest required so that when I did my revision, rewriting, and editing, it would be okay if I added, but that's clearly not going to happen because I've already surpassed 50% of the word count cap. And like I said, I only wrote Act 1. I still have Act 2 and Act 3 to write. So that means I'm going to have to learn how to cut almost half of what I write. Because I can tell I'm going to end up writing easily over 7,000 words on this thing. Between 7 and 9,000, which means I'm going to have to cut between 2 and 4,000 words. But I'm good at writing short fiction because I write drabbles. I don't know if you know what a drabble is, but it's when you write a story that's exactly, I think it's supposed to be exactly 100 words, not 99, not 101, but exactly 100. So I used to do that a lot. And so to the point where I could write a drabble and I would know when I'm close to like 100 words for it, and I would like stop myself. And I like doing those kinds of things where I would write a 250 word story or a 500 word story so that I could, train myself to not just write something short, but to be able to instinctively know when I'm hitting a certain word count and kind of wrap it up. But in this instance, writing something that's like 5,000 words, it's hard to like wrap it up because you kind of want to like expound and go to distance and have the dialogue and all the things. So I'm gonna get there. Because I really want to submit this story. Like it's not even an option on that not happening. So let me see here. Okay, so we're about to reset this timer to the last. What am I doing? Here we go. All right, so these are our last 10 minutes together. Actually, yeah, our last 10 minutes. Even though it says I've been live for an hour and 56 minutes already. Let me set up my document the way I like it. There we go. Okay, I just wrote another 150 words because I can. 150 words in 4 minutes, not bad. Alright, I'm going to stop now and so I've got 2,891 words written. Which collectively is like 700 words less than where I hope to be by the end of Act 2. However, the fact that I only have 150 words written in Act 2 is kind of a problem because Act 2 can't be like 850 words. It's the middle. There's a lot happening in there. So that's my conundrum, but you know, what can you do? So for the rest of my day, which, let me see what my day looks like actually. I'm going to be working on my filing system, like I said before. And let's see here. Oh, wonderful. Let's see. Let's move this to here. Delete this, move this to here, move this to here, delete, move this to here, delete, move this. Oh yeah, I got around to that today. And delete. Move this to here. Okay. Oh yeah, I was looking at my schedule for the day. Wednesday. So I only have meetings from 3 to 4:30 today. Oh, sweet. Sweet. That means I need to block off my time. Oh, I love when I have basically 11 to 3 to do whatever. Oh, man. Okay, that's actually pretty good news. And I will take advantage of that for sure, because I got a lot of things to do. For my website, I have to do some updating. And I gotta do some things from a social media perspective that I'm gonna be working on. And I gotta check on, oh, did I post? I was just saying how I wrote a blog post about too many ideas, and it actually just auto posted like an hour ago today. I forget because I write these things and then I cycle them. I schedule them on my thing. So I forget every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and today's Wednesday. So, yes. So, my blog post, Too Many Ideas Syndrome, is up for um, anyone who wants to know any ways to um, overcome the too many ideas syndrome. Sweet. And I also just figured out, because that's what I was doing with MailChimp, how to connect, um, how to make it so that you can automatically get my blog posts, doing it through, uh, what do you call it? Oh, who just went on? Doing it through MailChimp and then WordPress. So that way you can either select to get like my monthly newsletter, which I do every first of the month, or you can choose to get my blog updates. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you'll get whenever I post a blog, it will automatically go to your email. I figured out, I think, how to do that. I haven't tested it yet, which I should have tested it with the blog that went up today, but I forgot that I had a blog post going up today. So I will probably do a test of the one going up on Friday, to see if it sends it to me and what it looks like, because I have no idea. I set it and then I don't know what it's going to actually do. I assume it's just going to send an email and it's just going to be the actual blog post in an email. That's my assumption, but I don't know that that's actually, I don't know if it's going to like clip it and you have to click a button that says read more and it takes you to my website. No idea. None. I just know that that's what it's intended to do, where you will get my blog post when it posts. So anyway, my time here is done. It is 10 a.m. And even though I don't actually have any work meetings until 3 p.m. Eastern time, I am going to end my stream because I've done my full 2 hours and I don't like to do more than that because I don't want to bore anyone with all the things that I do randomly. But yeah, so, I'm going to continue writing on Friday and then hopefully finish up this story next week so that next week, probably not next week Friday. I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming that day because I have a procedure on Thursday, the 21st or the 22nd, whatever that day is. So I'm probably not going to be able to sit up and stream next week Friday, but definitely the following Monday is when I will be hopefully working on editing, self-editing, revising, rewriting, and doing a lot of chopping. So I'm really hoping to finish this story next week so that I can start and give myself 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks to really do all the editing and hopefully find some beta readers to read it once I've done my self-editing passes multiple times. Maybe like 2 I'm looking to get, like maybe 2 or 3. And I'll put out a call for that next week when I know the story is done and I'm in a place where I can figure out the editing it down situation. A lot of people are coming live on Twitch right now. Ooh, one of the people I watch on Twitch just went on live, so I'm gonna go watch her and do some work off stream. Thanks, Shay, for coming by. Thank you for the shout out yesterday. I do appreciate it. Yeah, part of the land of living. If you can't make it, I totally understand. It's hella early morning for you. It's like 7 a.m. So don't even worry about it. Someday when I'm able to do this full time and I don't have a 9 to 5 I have to adhere to, I will have streams at a more manageable hour so that I don't have to get up at 7 a.m. to get this sucker set up at 8 a.m. You know what I mean? So I will catch you on your next live thing. And in the meantime, guys, I will be here on Friday. Friday is my dearly departed mother's birthday, July 16th. So I will be thinking of her, but I know that she will want me to be writing. So even though it is her birthday and I have that day off from work, I will still be here and I will do my stream, and then I will go off and do all the things that I used to and remember doing with her on Friday, July 16th. But in the meantime, everyone enjoy your Wednesday, and I will catch you guys